Okay, so to start off, the Team Fusion is a nonprofit organization that provides robotics programs for kids grades K through 12. We support many different programs such as FLL, FTC, and our weekly robotics classes. We also do a lot of community outreach, such as free workshop events in libraries, where we just kind of give kids a little demo of what we do at our classes and throughout our entire programs. And we also, you will see us at a lot of school STEM nights, kind of spreading robotics throughout elementary schools. Our website is theteamfusion.com. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to us through there. And yeah. Before we'd like to go into our main sponsors, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors listed here. Now we're going to talk about 5 of our main sponsors. Okay, so our first sponsor is Dave's Hot Chicken. They give us free, amazing food every single weekend at all of our weekly meetings for our FTC team and all of our competition days. And we get hungry after working a really long time in the garage. So this is amazing and very useful. They also support us through all of our events and help us reach out to our community. Another one is High Tech. They pay for all of our shipping expenses. We are mentoring a team in Ukraine called Ukrainiex, and this is international outreach. So High Tech helps us save $3,000 to $4,000 in this international shipping, and they also provide us with some hardware tools to help us improve our robot hardware design. Our next sponsor is Elegoo. They have provided us with a whole 3D printer for our FTC team, which is absolutely insane. They provide us with lots of filament and hardware components for our robot, and they support all of our community events. Our next sponsor is Homes by Reishu. She's a realtor in San Diego, and she provides us with a bunch of space for our work in our lab. And of course, she supports all of our events, such as our outreach work and our library workshops. Okay, so now we're going to start talking about what FLL Challenge is. So FLL Challenge is a Lego robotics program and competition that is held for grades 3 to 7 with teams of up to 10 kids, from 2 to 10 kids. There are 4 main components that you are competing in at competition. There's the robot game, the robot design, the innovation project, the core values, and those are the main things. Each of them is worth 25% of your competition. So it's really important to be a well-rounded team. Now we're going to go into the basics of each of our components. The first 2 components are robot design and robot game. And this is where there's a big mat and you build and program your autonomous robot. So you use Spike kits to build it. And you create your own strategy and complete the missions on a themed field mat. So we'll show you last year's robot game missions video later, but you have 2.5 minutes to score as many points as you possibly can. Okay, so the next thing is the innovation project. So the innovation project in FLL is definitely the most open-ended sort of part of the competition. So each season, they come out with a new theme. So last year's season, the 2025 to 2026 season, was Unearthed, which is about archaeology and history. So they'll give you a very open-ended prompt. So last year's was, your team's challenge is to identify a problem faced by archaeologists and propose a solution that can help. So teams were allowed to pick any problem that these archaeologists would face and kind of develop a solution. So they research this problem and they go into the judging room at competition, and they have 5 minutes to present their project to the judges. This is extremely important because this sets you apart from the rest of your competition, because everyone has the same robot game mat, everyone has the same missions to complete, but for innovation project, it's so open-ended that if yours stands out, then the judges are really gonna see you and put you past that level. Finally, our final component about first challenge is core values. And there are 6 main core values that every team member must follow: discovery, innovation, impact, inclusion, teamwork, and of course, fun. And all of these combined create gracious professionalism and cooperation. And this is super important if you want to be a really well, reliable, and fun person on your team, because as you get to know everyone, not only will this help yourself, but it'll also help you impact others in the future. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the season and how it kind of plays out through the year. So you can start FLL really at any point in the year. Well, you can do it year round is what I mean to say. So during the preseason, which is May to July, this is when team registration starts to happen and you kind of start like forming your teams and you just do like general preparation for the season. It's kind of some like learning and yeah. Then in August, the new theme is released and the missions are released, the innovation project prompt comes out, and the official season begins. So this is when you can finally like buy the mat for that year and buy the missions, build the missions, and start working on your programming and coding, start drafting your innovation project. This is when the theme's released, and this is really when the season starts to kick off and you start working like consistently. Then the first round of competition is qualifiers, which are in November. Every single team competes in qualifiers if you're registered. This happens in mid-November. And then if you qualify after, I think 15 teams from each qualifier goes to regionals. So then regionals happens about a month later in early December. Then if you qualify from regionals to state championships, I think about 3 or 4 teams from each regionals go to states. So it's pretty hard to get there. So state championships happen in January, mid-January. And then if you make it past that, you can go to different invitationals all around the world. And there's also the World Championships, the FLL World Championships that happen in April in Texas. And obviously it's a very hard, but I think we have someone trying to join. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, click on how do I this? Okay, admit. Okay, sorry, let's continue. Okay, and so the World Championship happens in April, and actually, which is really cool because all of the World Championships for all the different first LEGO programs happen at the same time at this same place. So our FTC team actually in 4 days, I think, so including the 2 of us, we're traveling to Texas to compete in the FTC World Championships. So yeah, that is something that we've actually achieved and reached. On real tournament day, there are 2 practice runs and 3 real runs for your robot rounds. So you can go ahead, take all your stuff and go find a practice table and you run all your runs and you try to get all your missions done. And if they're not working, you try recoding it. And basically that's the time where you get to practice. And then you have your 3 real runs where there's a real referee watching you. And in the end, all your points get scored and they count towards your awards and your points in the end. Then you have your judging session with 3 main components, the innovation project, the robot design, and the core values. It does not have your robot game because that's evaluated separately, but these 3 are super important for the judges, and in the end, they'll ask you some questions as well. Finally, at like around 5 p.m. in the evening, there will be an award ceremony with cheering and fun, so make sure you enjoy that. And even if you don't win an award, it's okay because you really tried throughout the season and learning is what matters. Okay, so there are many awards that are given out. Obviously, there's the main awards for all 4 components of the game. There's the Robot Performance Award, which is awarded to the teams that have the highest scores on the table. The Innovation Project, Core Values, and Robot Design Awards, although, are worth the same amount of they have the same amount of value, but those are all determined by the judges. So the Innovation Project Award goes to the team who had the most innovative solution to their problem and they presented it really well, they prototyped it really well. The Core Values Award goes to the team who's been showing those core values throughout the entire competition and season and through their in the judging room as well. And the Robot Design Award goes to the team not just who did great on the table, but who had the most innovative attachment designs and robot design, and it was just something that the judges really haven't seen before. There are many different other awards that are smaller that vary by region. There's the All-Star Award, the Breakthrough Award, the Engineering Excellence Award, and the Judges Award, but those vary by region where you're competing, so. Finally, we get to the real challenges, and these are big challenges that we've seen through our 7 years of experience with a ton of different FLL teams that have really went through these challenges and overcame them. So our first big one is student time commitment and scheduling. And first at the beginning of year, you can say you have no commitments, but that won't get you anywhere because later on, you're going to be in FLL and you're going to be committed. So you're going to have to learn how to manage your time well. So be aware of your time commitments and kind of schedule them at a different time if you need to. Another big thing is being individuals versus being a team. In the past, we've seen people who really wanted to work to themselves and not work with their team. And really, that got them nowhere because obviously, working as a team is more efficient, and you also develop teamwork skills that'll help you in the future if you want to get a job somewhere, or teamwork is just required everywhere. So, this is a great place to learn it at the beginning. Another big thing is focusing on winning versus learning. Winning is great, right? Everyone wants to win and everything. And I know we've said earlier in the presentation, if you get an award, that's great. But what's really important is learning, because in this scenario, you have so many different opportunities where you can really learn like your coding skills, your building skills, and of course, all the core values and the ability to solve real world problems with just your brain and your teams. That is amazing. So take all the opportunity in the learning. In parents' involvement, at Fusion, we do not like parents' involvement because, of course, the learning, right? You want to do everything yourself. So Fusion, that's unacceptable. So we try to get the students to do everything themselves. That's why this is a completely self-guided thing. And also, we like to use coaches instead of parents because coaches can actually help guide the students when parents would be like real helping. So we like to keep it to coaches. Another thing is not following core values. I've already went over all of the core values. So if you're not following them, then like you're not learning anything as well. So just make sure you're always following core values, and that'll keep you in great shape at real competition. Another thing is the distractions. We always try to keep them limited, as in previous years, we've had many distractions. Oh my gosh, they were going on and off, on and off. But now our team is very controlled, and we even made a whiteboard to try to manage ourselves. And we have weekly team meetings every single Sunday. So this is great because it keeps us very focused, and now we're being very successful in our team. Another thing is limited amount of time to competitions. So right now we have about 21 days until our spring showdown. And this is a very limited amount of time, but since we've established ourselves throughout the year, we feel very confident that we'll have enough time. So make sure you manage that. Another thing is robot reliability. You have to make sure your robot is always consistent when it's running on the mat. And that'll help you make sure your robot will do good in the real competition. Final challenge is a fresh, innovative project challenge. Your brain is kind of a brain freeze when you first see the innovation project prompt. And this is the time where you really want to restart your brain and kind of go on a piece of paper and start writing down all of your ideas. So one thing you should do for this is start way before in the year, like as soon as it gets released, or actually before it gets released. And then you start planning everything out, and they give you like a small season teaser. So take all the information you can from there, use AI, use different resources, and eventually you'll come to something that'll help you when the real innovation project prompt actually comes out. Okay, so on our teams, we like to have our students doing all the work, as Saisha said earlier. Our coaches are experienced in this stuff, so we know how to like kind of facilitate their journey through FLL. We've obviously gone through it too. So we like to ask them a lot of like guiding questions without providing like direct answers to all their issues. And make sure that they understand everything that they're doing. So even if we're helping them, we have to make sure we're not just doing it for them, but they have to be able to understand it, explain it, kind of be able to teach us back what we taught to them so that we understand that they have a good understanding of it. We also have like assigned roles on our team, such as like team captain, hardware lead, software lead. These are just the people that like we feel have taken a step forward. This doesn't give them an edge above anyone else on the team, like more important or anything, but these are the people that the younger members can go to have help in case like one of our coaches. We don't want to be the only ones helping them. We want them to be able to help each other and build those bonds and those teamwork skills. Our previous team Bumblebee. This FLL team had many years of experience, so 4 years in FLL Challenge, 2 years in FLL Explore, and these are all of their awards listed as they were picked for their premier event, blah, 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 2024 to 2025 season Submerged. I was actually a part of this team, and this is where I built all of my skills, and that was my pathway to FTC. And I still remember all of my fun moments, all of my skills in this team, and I cherish it to today. So this is really important because I hope all the future newcomers into FLL share the same excitement as I did and have all the same moments they can cherish in the future. Okay, so how to join the Fusion FLL team. So you can obviously talk to one of us. You can stay after the call and talk to one of us. You can ask in the Q&A. But if you want some more time to think about it, that's fine. We do have limited spots available for our 2 FLL teams that we are forming right now. It's very high demand, very limited spots. So if you are interested, please do claim yours right now. You can contact us through our website or sign up on the website, or just contact us through email, phone number. We have all of that on the website. Each of these teams are coached by 2 student coaches that have prior experience in FLL. We have another person. Okay. Each of these are, so prior FLL teams, and I can continue for you. So our 2 coaches from that will be coaching the FLL teams are usually from our own FTC teams because they've gained experience in the past and now they're ready to coach these FLL teams. For example, me and Ria are the coaches for this year's FLL team. So yeah. Some frequently asked questions we get all of the time is, how competitive is FLL? It can be very competitive, but obviously the main focus is learning, teamwork, and innovation, and of course set aside winning, because obviously you need to gain skills in order to win in the future. So right now, learning is all that should be on your mind, all that should be in your focus. Another thing is, what programming language do students use? I've seen many teams that use block-based coding. Like if you've ever heard of Scratch, it's like that. But now some advanced teams use Python. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's like a coding language that works kind of like Java, except more simple. And this is great because there's there's a variety of different commands you can give it. And right now our team is using Python, so that's great. How hard is it to build a robot? It starts simple, but as you get more competitive and advanced, and as you improve, then your consistency is going to improve, and you will there will be a variety of ways you can finish off your robot. The final thing is, how important is the innovation project? It's extremely important, and it takes up actually 25% of your judging, and it separates the top teams when they get to a consensus of who really should be qualifying, who really has done great in this. So innovation project should always be on one of the top things in your list. Okay, so to stay connected with us, you can go to our website, which is theteamfusion.com, as we said earlier. Follow us on Instagram. We have the Team Fusion USA. We also have another account that's for our FTC related stuff. You can contact us if you want to sign up for our newsletter, which is something we send out every month with all of our information about our current teams and our programs and anything that we have been up to or upcoming events. That's the end of our presentation. So we're going to start the Q&A right now. I think if you have any questions, just hold on. Okay. So if you guys go to the bottom menu on your meeting tools, and there's the grid of 9 dots, you can go to the Q&A section and you can ask questions. Or, you know what, you could just unmute as well and just ask us questions.
Hey guys, a couple of weeks back, we came to your place, on a weekend.
Oh, for the open house.
Yeah, for the open house. You guys mentioned about us joining the